it just fell right in there.
Yeah.
Just like we drew it up.
So pilot, besides getting the good view of the stock crinoid, had a request that we get some good aerial footage of the total area, as this has never been seen before.
Copy. Okay, let's get a stocked crinoid here first. Any of these will do?
I think our best image
In
would
terms
be
of
from
imagery?
the backside.
Or
Backside. Just
Yeah, just
survey.
imagery.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, we just want to just zoom in and find out what they look like.
So yeah, the stalk crinoids and the single.
The long skinny white
Yeah.
things are the things that I think they're most interested in figuring out right now.
I can come down and give you a little more. Or we can move.
So, like, where the lasers are right now? Or no?
No. To the left, so you see that one crinoid that sort of looks like a pinwheel? That didn't help, I know.
Yeah, that's like
They all look like that. Directly above your lasers.
the little white
Yep.
straw.
Oh, okay.
Back down. Those.
Gotcha. Go ahead, NVIDIA. So I thought you said long white stalks.
I think I did, but you really shouldn't listen to me.
Can keep coming as you
And
can, Roland.
Diva, did
Try
we
to keep
zoom
it
in
centered
on
for you.
the crinoids yet or not? Okay. First we
This
wanted
is
to
a
get to
coral,
these.
right?
So coral people.
What is this?
I don't want to smush any of those guys.
Any chance we can get any further or not?
Yeah, let me put my right toe in, perhaps.
That is maximum zoom.
Copy. Just hold there, Roland.
Holding.
And you can tilt up for me, co-pilot. Thank you. Come a little wide, Roland. Oh, never mind. We got it. Got any more from here?
Max.
Copy. That's a little guy.
So basically what we've heard from our scientists is that this is a coral. Thanks, guys. It's not a bamboo coral.
It's an octocoral, but they don't know what type. We can say definitely not an isidid or bamboo coral. But other than that, they're kind of stumped.
Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of them here, too.
The polyps are retractable, Scott France is saying. I guess they're like slowly working down the key, you know?
What's the
Considering
tiny
all
white thing
things.
behind this
Yeah,
one?
I'm not sure about that either.
Ooh,
Oh,
look at the baby
crab.
hermit crab. Thanks for jumping into the field of view.
Current is really distorting the image.
Yeah.
So when we have a chance after this coral, there's a little winged white thing behind it.
Yep,
I
that's
wonder
what-
if we could get an image of that too. It's on the upper left panel right now.
We will do our best. That's actually, I was just asking Diva about that. I didn't know what it was. So we will do our best to get to that.
That
I have a
little,
Yeah.
Okay,
this-
so I think we can
looking
probably
thing.
Yep,
just...
that thing.
Because there's the coral people are still sort of perplexed, so yeah, that thing behind, I mean...
Are we reaching the limits of Zoom?
yeah,
I thought so.
unfortunately.
So Chris, right now we're sort of at the limit of our Zoom. I think if we wanted to get closer, we'd probably have to ask them to reset up.
and is it possible, has the hermit
I
crab
don't
totally
think
left the vicinity?
I don't think it's necessary. It's hard to tell, but it looked almost vaguely similar to something, a type of stylasterid that's been recorded in Hawaii called Disticophora, but I can't really tell from that view.
Okay.
It's too small. Maybe if there's some bigger ones that we come across, we could take a look at those.
Perfect.
And has anybody
guys on,
seen crinoids like this before?
Searching for
So
it.
pilot,
Go ahead.
I don't know if you heard that, but I think, are we on to imaging the crinoids? Do you know?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I thought there was a request for the hermit crab.
Oh, yeah. I mean, is he there?
I don't yet see it.
I don't see him anymore.
I think
So
we
I think
can
he
skip
might have
that
left the
and just move on
vicinity.
to the crinoids.
Unfortunately, he's left Michelle. But
Can tilt up.
Yeah. So if we could please image the is the hermit crab underneath it? Maybe not.
Possibly.
But look at no, it's just because one of the scientists working in Guam wanted to see it. So look at the amount of siri on that it's using to hold on and support itself. Incredible, just like roots of a tree. You know, like mangrove roots.
Max zoom.
Copy. Fortunately, we can't get any closer.
And I don't have any...
Chris is still online, but about an earlier dive, Chris had identified this as metacrinus.
You and video.
No, so this has already been identified, I think, by Alex Kerr, somebody else, as an isocrinina, I think, the suborder isocrinina, and it could be a couple families. It could be in the Isocrinidae, or it could be another family. But we have something quite similar in Hawaii. It's sort of a very unusual short-stalked crinoid that's also a more shallow water stalk crinoid.
Just waving around.
Watch these now.
Really incredible.
This is just not good image with that water like that.
Yeah.
I'm not on, which is why you can't hear me.
Let's go for full special.
This is great imagery. Thank you, pilots.
So
and
just something that you might
we can
wanna
move
note
off
for
when you're
future
ready.
reference is this dive is shallow enough that the bottom is detectable by our ADCPs. So I've been just doing some back-of-the-envelope calculations, and we've been seeing currents in excess of 1 knot at the above the dive.
So the one we have in Hawaii is
Really?
identified as an Adoxocrinus, and I think maybe somebody else might have identified this one as that metacrinus or something like that that Bruce was talking about.
So over a knot, is that what you said?
Yeah, in the water column, not where we're diving, but above us
higher?
has been, above, over the top of the feature here. Probably, the laminar flow and whatever, we're not feeling a full knot, but
I don't want to.
it's definitely been over a knot at certain points during the dive in
So
the water
is that-
column above us.
So,
Wow.
Brian, are you saying that's going to impact us? Or?
No, I'm just saying
Just right here.
No, it's just
it's
cool
a
science.
biological fact.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
And we don't even have to get it for a long time.
So
as long as we
our
get a still
navigator,
image out of
Brian,
it.
who was also just leading the dive for you about an hour ago,
Yeah, go ahead.
just let us
Head
know that
tilt down.
not exactly where we are now, but
Yeah,
just
good.
above that, we actually are seeing knots that are around, we're seeing currents that are about a knot or in excess of 1 knot. So that's kind of amazing.
That's not going to work.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, way to come down. There's a tug. You're okay.
Bodes well for a good colony or a good community up ahead.
Sorry, Ron. We'll get another one.
Yep, nope, standing by.
Sorry, what was that, Chris?
It's all yours.
Copy, thanks.
I'm saying with currents like that, it bodes well for having a pretty good community of animals.
Very true. That is
Fantastic.
That is a great point. So hopefully, as we move uphill, we'll see a lot more suspension feeders.
So just so I understood, you said that there's a knot current right here. Is that correct?
It is here, but it's higher up
Yeah,
in the
one on
water
right
column than
edge
we
of the
are right
screen has
now.
Got a good angle to the camera.
Copy.
Oh, got it. I understand. Thank you.
Okay, Copilot, you want to tilt up for me? And zoom when we center up, Roland.
Yep.
I know it's a little ways away. Seemed like
Yep,
a clear
that's,
spot.
that's good enough for me.
Which one you want?
One on the right.
One on the right.
After that.
That's max zoom.
And if we want to keep this way, we can get another ship move in.
Ship move coming up. Bridge nav.
Okay, just go for full specimen.
30 meters, 180 degrees,
Tilt
0.2.
down.
Thank you.
Hold that. And video is clear. If pilot, if you could just rise straight up and get the whole field. If we
Acknowledge.
can- And if we can
Look
sort
at the
also
amount
get
of basket
Sirius,
stars.
ROV and Sirius
I am amazed.
in a good shot.
Come again?
I
If we
was
can get a
not
good
expecting
image
this.
with
And
the
they're beautiful. They're
ROV
so
They're
interesting.
so
in
beautiful.
the shot of Sirius.
Oh, amongst all these.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can rotate over and get some good light on me if you want, Copilot. Copy that.
And if you can rise a little bit more or tilt up maybe a little more of the ROV camera.
How's that?
Yeah, I got too much flares.
Come down.
I think the vehicle up, lens down. I'll push past the skids. And that's a good view from Sirius.
Okay.
So if we can just keep rotating. If you go to your starboard as Sirius continues to follow, just for about another 5 to 8 seconds.
To my start.
I mean, there must
Yes,
be
we're started.
absolutely hundreds of these basket stars here.
And I'm looking at your distance and watching Sirius shot.
Shark, 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 shark,
And then
shark.
you can go find the
Good
shark.
spot, Brian. Good spot. This might be the same one we were checking out earlier.
That's different.
Oh, now the geologist
Still
is
a
back.
Okay,
Definitely still a sand tiger, though.
Sirius
Oh, maybe
tilt
not.
up.
Actually,
Well, I didn't get to see the shark last time.
oh, he's looking at us.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
Just incredible.
Zoom as you are, Roland.
Now,
That's waiting for
see,
him to
and now
Oh,
it-
he's
realize
like-
that
he's
I think gonna
freckled.
do all the
he's
zooming.
freckled. You're right.
Little.
We have a ship move going.
Is it the same type of shark?
So
Zoom on
both Chris
Sirius.
and Bruce, I'm just going to trust them
Yeah,
this time.
we
Both
know we
Chris
have
and
to trust
Bruce
you.
are saying this is the same type we saw earlier, which is a sand tiger. And the scientific name for that is
Right.
Odontaspis ferox.
Sirius is a little tight.
And I'll point out
coming back
that
up below you.
Brian Kennedy, who's our navigator right
Good
now,
image
who's
on
often
Sirius.
one of the expedition coordinators, told us we would not see sharks on this dive.
Did.
So it's wrong.
he?
Yeah, I totally got that one wrong.
Bruce is good.
Pushing in.
Wow.
Look at the,
Pushing
I
in.
mean, okay,
This
forget
is
about the shark for a
amazing.
second. Look at the amount of basket stars.
No,
This
sorry,
is-
I'm looking at the shark right now. They're just so graceful.
So I don't see these sharks very often at all. I think in all 30 years of Hurl submersible dives, we only have a handful of records of these sharks. So this is actually a great observation.
Full wide.
It's wonderful.
Pulling out.
Can we collect it? Just kidding.
Both cameras full wide.
Copy.
Okay, we got some great imagery of the bed as well as the
So,
shark.
We're moving
That's
at
a good
180.
looking
shore-based scientists, can someone explain to me why all of these basket stars are lined up in straight rows?
So I think there's a sort of ledges in the rocks where they've basically positioned themselves so that they can get their arms into the currents.
Are you a shore-based scientist?
Sorry, I didn't hear that part. Sorry. Shore-based scientists, would you like to explain why these basket stars are arranged in a horizontal lined pattern?
That's okay, they agree
I
with
think
you.
they're all lined up to renew their driver's licenses.
Or they're getting ready to go to a concert. Okay, no, Diva was correct. Thank you, Alex, for backing Diva up.
Yes, thanks, Alex, for backing me up.
That was cool. Thanks, Brian.
No, no worries. So I could be completely wrong, and they may just be brittle basket stars, but it looks like on the ledges mixed in there's some kind of white fan colony corals as well. I don't see one in this frame, but I've noticed a couple places.
There's also a sea star.
Chasm there.
I mean, not interesting in this context,
Did
but
you back to
just,
180 maybe? Is
something
the
that we
ship
haven't
name?
seen yet.
180?
Yeah, 180.
Ship should
So I think
open
one of the
up this way
questions
already,
was,
I think.
are there some
Also,
coral
if we can
colonies
tilt
amongst these
Sirius's
basket
camera
stars
down a
as
little
well,
bit.
Diva?
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
don't see
nice.
one
Just
there.
trying to look down in there, Roland.
Yeah, I like that look.
Curious.
Okay.
Try to lose this.
Not sure where you saw those.
Zoom in a frame.
I didn't. Brian did.
I saw them around on the ledge face to the right, but not in a way that's very conducive.
want to snap zoom here, Roland? Is that Okeanos down there?
Not
Yeah,
yet.
there
I
it is,
think
right
the
there.
wide view is
Crinoid,
better.
right side of the chasm,
Yeah.
next to the crinoid.
Come on in, Roland.
So these that sea star look like a goniasterid,
just a whole
Think
maybe
of
Circeaster.
What were you looking at, Brian?
Oh, really far down?
Right there.
Yeah. So
Right,
like
that thing, crinoid, just right of the crinoid above the sponge.
do you mean the stylasterids? Oh no, these white. Right. I see where you're going with
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Good spot, Brian.
And also in the background.
That's why we got to get you guys the better monitor, because I just got 3 feet closer to the screen than you do.
And then are those zoanthids living all on the stalks, sort of colonizing them? And also what looks like a sponge or tunicate, sort of encrusting the rock there.
Okay, come full wide. I'll give you your chasm shot again, Roland, if you want.
Okay, push in past the skids. We have lasers on.
I can get them on.
Yes, please.
Lasers on.
You want to drop it down into the chasms, the lasers? And now can we snap zoom to the bottom of the chasm?
Go ahead.
Some fish down there.
Let's see that.
Fish.
Trying, Roland, sorry. What you got there? I might be able to get. And come wide. Oh, yeah, a little more, huh?
I was just going to gain up once I got all the whites out of the shot.
Sorry. Well, when you're clear, let me know.
So I think our coral biologists are a little bit stumped by these.
Okay, come wide.
Full wide.
Thank you.
We know it's an
We
ox
gotta-
coral. We're not
perhaps
sure
I
if
need
it's
to
a
get
gorgonid or a plexaurid. There's some suggestions it's a cybogorgid.
It's a great shot in Sirius.
And that will have to remain a mystery as we focus back
like a
in on
central
this
rock
incredible
around the chasm.
basket star field.
Right, you ready? Keep the ship moving.
Yes, sir.
Bridge nav. Let's do it again. 30, 180, 0.2.
So geologists, if you look over in the Sirius view, you can see a really large fracture, and it looks like one of the blocks of what might be this volcanic breccia has just sort of fallen down. Do any of you want to perhaps chat a little bit about what kind of geology we're seeing now?
Snappy. Okay, we need to get you back to 180, co-pilot.
So, Deb, Patty has stepped out for a few minutes.
Of course. And I think Bob's not on the line. So what I was hearing from them was that this area is probably a volcanic breccia, which again is a series of angular clasts, small rocks that are cemented in place by a matrix that's smaller around them. And what they were saying is that these are, in general, these areas appeared to be dipping, so they were, they were not flat, and that pieces have basically fallen off the sides. And this is a tectonically active area, so that actually makes sense. There are also a number of large fractures in the area that we're looking at right now, where it doesn't actually look like the rocks have really been displaced. They haven't necessarily moved. They've just pulled away from each other a little bit, or just had a little bit of cracking.
There are just still so many basket stars. So I'm just going to say a little bit more about the basket stars while we're looking at these.
We have an interesting fish under that ledge. Yeah, I think you're zooming in on it right now.
Ooh, look at his colors.
Lasers off.
pilot. I don't think I can see over
Well,
there.
Bruce might chime in, but if
Kill the
he
lasers.
doesn't,
Come on.
I'll continue on my discussion of basket stars after.
There's another red station.
Could we get any closer to that? This is actually an important fish to document, and Bruce will tell you why.
Probably need to drop down at this distance in order to get the light under it.
Pilots, did you hear that?
First, you've got two
Yeah, we're
fish in
working
the
on it.
area. There may be a
Working on the
roughy
fish.
and then that really brightly colored one. This is another one of these grappos, or we call them grannies on the subdives. And there's actually, I see a third fish species over to the left. So you've got a Plectrantheus sea bass, what looks like it might be a roughy, and then this Grantinotus or granny. And that's similar to something that we saw in the northwestern Hawaiian Islands that was a new wreck. We initially identified as, a long name, Grantinotus ophthalmus. It turned out to actually be described as new, and I've forgotten the species name for that. This one looks a little different, though. This one has a different shaped tail. The taxonomy of this brightly colored fish genus needs to be worked on. There's a new species that people think they've discovered over in the Philippines, and there's some confusion about the identity of some of the species that were described in the past.
Is that a little better?
Not yet. It looks like whatever's causing the shadow's still there.
Great, thanks,
We actually
thanks,
need
Bruce.
more up.
Let's do this. You want to spin up hydraulics for me?
I think he's well and truly hidden away from us.
Yeah, I think he was trying to
Try
escape
this
you.
angle.
But going back to these basket stars, so what they do is you can see a couple of them have actually got their arms extended upwards, and they basically put their rays up into the water column and sort of spread them as widely as they can like a fan, and they orient themselves almost perpendicular to the current. And then they catch sort of zooplankton type organisms, so copepods, ketognaths, jellyfish, and they're caught by microscopic hooks that they have on the branches. And then the branches curl towards their mouth, which is in the center of their body, and essentially feed them.
You've got a little room there. Keep coming around. Roland, you want to try to zoom in here?
So maybe we could just move on. We've got a good idea on that fish.
Do the same for the right swinger.
Okay, pilots, when you have a chance, we'd like to continue heading upslope, please.
Copy that.
Slower swing arm.
Deploy.
It's pretty low.
Yeah, and you can bring it left. Yeah. Okay. Just an exercise. We had time anyway. My mini cam went out. You can stow him now. Thanks for the help.
Yeah. Okay, so lower, starboard, right,
Yeah, you want to bring them all the way back.
all the way right, and then
So a great roughy, a
left, all the way
huge
left.
primnoid coral amongst all the
Yeah,
basket stars on the right. And I mean,
You had it right.
I just can't get over these basket stars. Some of them have got their arms stretched right up into the water column.
There's an arm below center screen.
I see that, yeah. You want to snap? Out there.
And so that looks like an Antipatherian or black coral.
the right one you want all the way right.
Yeah, I think you were already
I think
doing
I
that.
was, which the pilot cam. Okay.
Cool, thank you. Yeah.
Good spot, pilots.
Thank you.
Pulling out.
Copy.
Pilot, when you get a second, can we play a little Find the Local High game?
Yeah, let's do it. I love that game.
I'm going to bring your starboard light up just a little bit.
Copy that. You can talk with video if they don't mind keeping them like that, then, or if they like it better. Or
Okay.
let's see, Brian, what do we got? Looks like a little more west.
Yeah, that should be 220. Look good, do.
Let me get the craft out of the way there.
Maybe a little
This field of basket stars just doesn't seem to be ending at all.
Well, that's good. Thank you, Pilot.
Wow.
And yes, this is just incredible.
Okay.
We're starting to see a little bit more of other animals, so I can definitely see some white corals interspersed now in between the black corals. I mean, not the black corals, the basket stars, sorry.
So let's call it 245.
Okay.
Bridge nav.
I saw that wrong. We still got it, right?
30 meters, 245 degrees, 0.2, please.
Center screen under the coral. White object.
Correct.
Snap from here. Hold there.
Starfish.
So at some point it would be good to zoom in on one of these new white fans that have suddenly appeared into the community. I think they're a little bit different than what we've seen before.
We can do that right here.
So pilots, did you hear that? When you have a chance, we'd like to zoom on. Interspersed between the basket stars, there are actually sort of white fans, white fan corals. We'd like to zoom on those if we have a chance, please.
Sure.
That one dead center out about 4 meters will give you a place to land and look at it. If you had the tether, or you don't have the tether, never mind.
Yeah, I'm way out there. There's another one of those redfish underneath that.
That's one of the fans right there, lower center.
Okay.
Lasers.
Sure.
Oh my god, what do you...
This is completely different. How about these over here? These two next to each
I
other?
said the same thing.
Video switching out.
Copy.
Yeah, I assume he's going for that one near the center, but that'd be a good candidate. It's got something weird on it, too, it looks like.
Lower center?
Just to the right of the...
Copy.
Or maybe that's just a hole in it.
We'll kill hydraulics.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, video, we're clear to zoom.
Let me know if you
Hold
want
there. Thank
kill
you.
lasers.
Copy. And I'm going to rotate here.
So right now we're looking at some more of these stalked crinoids,
Sorry.
which are, I think, isocrinae.
Keep coming.
Okay, coming
One
in,
of the
full frame.
basket stars, which is likely Gorgonocephalidae.
Yeah, you
And
totally
then this new white coral, which I think Scott's thinking Paragorgids, and it's got one of the brittle stars on it from the family Asteroschematidae. Scott's saying Paragorgid, Chris is saying Acanthogorgia. Mass pandemonium amongst coral biologists. Okay, so it's not a Paragorgid, we've now heard.
Do we want a tighter here?
Yes, please.
Okay, you can keep coming video if you got it.
Okay, coming in.
Might be close to finish.
That's next zoom.
Copy. Do we want to get a little closer here, watch these?
When we finish filming this, if he just turns slightly to the right, there's a small fish resting on the bottom next to the coral.
Okay, are we ready to come out?
I think so. Yeah, come on out.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think our coral biologists still
You want to hold there?
don't
actually?
know what we're looking at.
There's a request for this little fish.
They can
Snaps
say
in
that
on
they
fish
don't
to
think
the
it's
right.
Okay,
Paragorgia
zooming in.
because it's got an internal axial skeleton. But
Yeah,
other than
That's-
that, they're just not sure.
good enough for an ID for
Okay. Zooming out a little bit.
request.
Maybe
Yeah, we can
look at the coral
frame
more.
again, yeah. And I can sit down and take a nicer shot, actually.
So I just see the tether.
Yeah, I see that. Okay. Thank you. Let's come full wide.
Okay, coming full wide. That's full wide.
Copy. And let's, now that I have the tether, come out and look at one of these. Is there one out? Maybe.
Well, the fish looked like it was either a small green eye, a juvenile green eye, family Chlorophthalmidae, genus Chlorophthalmus. There is another family of smaller fish that are very similar called Paralopids. They don't have a common name, and there's one genus, Paralopus, and couldn't tell which one that was. But thanks for the close-up.
Thanks, Bruce. So by process of elimination, I think our coral biologists have said that perhaps this is a plexaurid coral. I think they're still a little bit unsure, but that's, I think, the consensus they've come to. But again, look at the amount of basket stars here. I mean, in the view alone, there are probably 30.
Let me rotate for you. Hold there.
Yeah.
See if we can get this one right to the right.
Okay.
Okay. Now you can
okay.
Come back in.
Zooming in. That's max zoom.
Copy.
So yeah, I think they're pretty happy with going with plexaurid now, but they can't really get it any further identified than that. And of course, plexaurid is a big family, and so they're just not sure. Pretty stumped with this one, I think. And we just love stumping our biologists, including me, because I know nothing about corals, or very little.
Okay, when you're clear, watch these.
Thanks, pilots. So when you're done, we're happy to keep heading upslope, please.
Tilt down, lose some of that flare for you. Find another shark, Brian.
You're the one driving. All right,
I wonder how long this is going to continue for.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just still in this.
If you want to alter, that's fine.
30 meters, 245, 0.2.
I mean, Nav, I know we've kind of.
I guess for me, the question is, what's the next transition going to be?
Well, so I was just going to ask Nav. I know we've kind of waylaid all over the place, but do we know approximately how far we've traversed through this field of basket stars? I'm just trying to gauge how much ground we've covered so far of these guys.
100 meters?
So, okay, so our Nav has just said that we've likely gone through about 100 meters of these basket stars. And so think about how many that we must have passed through. And we're going to it doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon, but of course we see quite a bit of zonation, especially with depth in the deep sea. So as Chris just said, who knows what we're going to see next in terms of the biological assemblage of animals. It just looks like that's all we can see up until, I mean, yeah, in the distance I think that's still more and more of basket stars.
Big current over here.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay. I will stay to the east then.
I think if you were a zooplankton caught in the current, you'd have a very slim possibility of actually making it through this area without getting trapped and consumed.
Alright. Are you on heading? Yeah. Close enough. Good. You can do a current estimate if you want. What's that down there? Move it around. Can we go snap zoom here, video?
Okay, zooming in.
And see that thing moving down there?
Yeah, I see that.
Oh, is that just a coral?
I think it's the coral and the current.
Not just a coral, but a coral. Okay. You can come back wide. I thought it was...
Okay, coming back. That's full wide.
And so now we're starting to see quite a lot more of these
Thank you.
white octocorals as well.
I'll come back to you. I really run that far over there?
Wondering if our ship move pushed us off the ridge a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that possible?
Yeah. Maybe I just didn't think I wandered that far.
Current's pretty high. We gotta.
Yeah, it is
Good
possible that you guys got. I pulled you off the other side of the ridge a little bit.
So if you've just joined us, we are diving at a site known as Zealandia Bank. We're currently at a depth of 357 meters, and we have about an hour and 20 minutes left on the sea floor of this dive.
All right.
What we've been doing on our dive
we're
today
back to due
is
south.
we started at about 600 meters, and we've been moving up
Coming in?
the
I think we'll be
bank
back to due
ridge
south moves.
Okay.
That's what it
to
looks like to me.
hopefully much shallower
Okay.
depths. And during that time, we've been looking
Bridge
for
nav.
species of commercial interest, including
let's do
corals,
sorry,
which
is
are
the current
harvested
move
for
done?
jewelry, not in this area, but
All right, let's go ahead
potentially.
and stop here.
And also
And then let's
deep
do
water
another move,
snappers and other bottom
30
fish
meters, 180
that are also of
and
commercial
0.2.
interest. And we've seen quite a couple species that we were interested in, some heterocarpus shrimp,
Thanks.
corallium corals, so pink and red corals, some roughies. And I think that may have been all of the commercial species that we've seen today.
All right.
Oh, also some Antipotherians, or black corals.
Copy.
But it's just been a really interesting dive. We've seen some great geology. And now I think the highlight for all of us so far has been, apart from 2 sharks, which were great, we have now stumbled upon this field, which is just going on forever, of huge basket stars.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you came up over that ridge, kind of.
Yeah.
I am up at 41 and not going anywhere. Now we are. Yeah, we need to get back over the top. The tether is like not even letting me drive forward. Big sail.
It's been very interesting as we've been traversing this field of basket stars. There have been some really large fractures, really large fissures, where the biology has exploited, another steep wall to continue to grow on, or something like that. It's interesting how the biology and geology tend to work with each other in this area.
Of fish.
Yeah, I see those.
Got a fish under the ledge. Looks like an anagonia. 2 fish, actually.
More lasers.
Sure.
And we see these a lot. They can't really be identified the species that easily. So I don't know, Chris. I would vote for moving on, but it's up to you.
Well, maybe you get a peek at the fish. There's actually 3 fish there.
Pilot, if you can zoom, which you are already
Yeah,
doing.
it looks like there could be more Plectrantheas.
Stand by video.
Okay.
I'm in a battle.
Do you want me to come wide again?
Yeah, watch things. We're just getting pummeled by the current right now.
Okay.
No, you're okay there.
Okay. Yeah, there's 3 different species.
So, shore-based scientists, just so you're aware, the current is I think stronger here, and so it's a little harder for them to line up and stay in frame. Just so you know.
Okay, you can come on in.
Okay, coming in.
Take that camera.
We have something new here, too. There's a
fish.
deep water squirrel fish. It's the one that's
That's
hidden
upside
furthest
down.
back in the
He's
cave, but it's got stripes on the side. Could be genus
He's just being
Ostixes or another one that I Pristilepis.
I think he forgot how to fish.
Well, that is a beautiful fish.
And I was wrong about the genus on this one. This is not Plectrantheus. This is an Odontanthius, and it's gorgeous.
It was beautiful.
Lobster back there or something.
Squat lobster.
Do they always swim upside down like that, or was that guy just a little confused?
Bruce, was that fish swimming upside down?
It was, yes. A lot of these little basslets, sea basses and all, will orient toward the roof of a cavern or a crevice. Some of the cardinal fish will do that, too.
Oh, coming wide?
Yeah, sorry.
Why?
My mistake.
There we go. Full
That I don't know.
there's
Maybe
another
somebody
species
else
of
could
fish
provide
up
an
there.
answer for that.
Okay, thank you, Bruce. I'm sorry, I don't mean to put you on the spot. You just seem to know so much about the fish.
It is.
Copy, thanks.
Rotator's yours.
Copy, thank you. Yeah, feel free to reach over instead of having to change rotators. I do that too. Okay. Okay, let's floor it through this
Yeah.
current here. Come on. Come on.
So now it looks like the basket stars are sort of starting to become more scarce. I mean, a little bit less scarce, more scarce, and they're being, they're being replaced by these white corals, which I think we concluded were plexaurids, perhaps. But yeah, I guess we're moving into what looks like a different zone of animals.
Thank you.
I'm really amazed at just these fields filled with corals or basket
like
stars.
180's local high-ish. Looks
Yeah,
like it to me.
call it, yeah.
Bridge nav. 30
I
meters
wonder
due
if we could
south,
get a peek.
0.2.
That bright yellow thing to the left, but if not, we can get another one. I think we're going to see some more of those.
I'm not sure I know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
Chris. Bright yellow thing, coral.
I saw it. We'll try to get over there.
And fish just stuck behind this. There he is right there. This is a different fish.
Thank you.
I don't see a fish, but I see
Yeah,
bright
so
yellow.
I guess this bright yellow thing, which the pilot saw way before I
You
did.
want to go ahead and snap?
Okay, snapping in.
Hold there.
Holding. Nice.
And
Is that a type of dendrophilid, Chris?
come down for you, sorry.
Yeah, so this is a Gucci Somnia, I'm pretty sure.
Look at the branches on that coral
Yeah,
shade.
I mean the current is ripping through here, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Do we want a close-up of this? Watch these.
Do we want to close with this, Diva?
No, I think we're okay. We've ID'd it to genus, and I think that's good enough. Thank you, guys.
Okay. We can do one last snap here, maybe.
One last snap. Okay, coming in.
Okay, come wide.
Coming wide.
That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Unless I sit down. They don't. Sounds like they don't
That's
want
full
to.
wide.
Copy. Thanks.
Can you snap on that basket star?
Which one?
The one right below the lasers?
Yeah. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to take that out. Go ahead in video.
Okay, coming in.
What were you curious about there, Brian?
I just feel like there might be two different types here,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure.
Two different types of basket stars.
Yeah. I can't quite tell you why, but I feel like I'm seeing...
Coloration.
Yeah, mainly coloration, but these guys also seem a little spindly, a little thinner.
Let's examine that hypothesis further, I think.
These little white finger-like branching coral next to the basket star, this sure looks a lot like Disticophora. In Hawaii, they identified a Disticophora anceps, but I think it's a type of stylacerid regardless.
That's full wide.
Copy. Thank you. Alright, let's tilt up and come back in. Yeah, keep it.
Alright, coming in.
Do we want to look at the small white? Watch this.
This is max zoom.
Copy.
Sorry?
Do we want to look at the small white things?
Uh,
How we doing, Copilot? I didn't realize I was that far off.
Yeah, just coming at us. We're starting to move here. So.
For a moment, please. Let's just a quick zoom.
Okay. Partial wide
Okay.
video.
Coming partial.
And tilt down. Let's try to catch that. Hold there. Come back in.
Coming back in.
Still guy up here?
Yeah. Little white.
Which one?
The little white guy.
Oh, the little hard guy.
Yeah.
That's max zoom, actually.
Copy. That's fine.
So, Chris, this was the one we thought we saw earlier in the dive, but we couldn't get close enough to zoom on it. Is that correct?
I can come down and give you some tether.
No.
That's correct, and I'm looking at a picture of, I spelled it wrong, it's Disticophora anceps from the Hurl Guide, and it's basically identical. And the only place I ever saw that stylacerid was on a bank in the Northwest Hawaiian Islands only, and Steve Cairns was out on this cruise in 2003, and we actually did the dive to try to grab specimens of it because it had been reported in that vicinity like a century ago, and then there had been no previous reports of it anywhere else, I guess. And so these photos will definitely go to Steve and see if he would confirm that it's the same thing.
Awesome. That's great to hear.
Try to snap fish here.
Oh, okay, snapping in.
Hold there.
Holding. He's cool fish.
I can rotate the way.
You can really see the current, even on the fish.
I got it for now.
Okay. Just let me know when you need it, I guess.
But what's really, one of the things I'm finding really interesting is that these, this sort of crust that we're looking at in terms of the geology, every time there's a hole, every time there's any type of relief, there's a fish.
No,
and then there's extra, and then there's a higher density of corals or basket stars as well. So it's like the geology is definitely playing a role in the density and diversity of animal species here.
As it always does, right? I mean, the biology is definitely dependent in a lot of ways on the geology. Wow, the current is
look at that
crazy.
Fish.
That's max zoom.
I mean, I'm less concerned about the fish and more concerned about the anemone or cereanthid or whatever it is next to it.
I don't know.
He looks
like he's in a wind tunnel.
He looks furious.
Hold on, like a blizzard.
he has great eyes.
Yes, he's a very cool-looking fish.
And if before we leave the spot, pilots, could we just pan left. Yes.
So this is a soldier
and
fish?
Pan left and check out the Cereanthids own enemies.
That may or may not make it through the next couple of minutes?
Yes, exactly. So Bruce is saying this could be that fish was a pontonus, which is a type of scorpion fish. And so yeah, these are
Is what they want.
Yeah, thanks.
these are Cereanthids,
Let's give it one more tilt back up.
Yeah.
I know I'm
which
oscillating.
likely what?
Keep blowing away.
Yeah.
Hanging on.
That's a lot of current.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the guess about the scorpion fish was just a guess. I'm guessing Pontinus because of the long cirri, the long tentacle-like things above the eyes. But the color pattern was very different from what we see here in Hawaii, and the shape of the head looked different too, so I could be way off base with that.
Okay. We clear here, watch leads.
Oh, hi.
What was that?
Uh,
Oh. Okay,
Well, that was cool.
So those Cereanthids are actually tubed,
Action time.
and the tube extends below the substrate that we can see. And so we just got a great view of what essentially is a defensive mechanism to avoid predation. So we saw both of the tentacles retract into this tube.
Now he's shy.
I mean, did the fish just bump into them, or did
I
he
think
actually
so.
mean to?
he's
Oh,
ashamed.
I don't know. But he certainly bumped into them.
Okay, we can come full wide.
Okay, coming
And,
full wide.
Can you spin up hydraulics and bring my swing arms in? They're kind of rocking and rolling.
That's
out
full
there.
wide.
Copy, thank you, video. See the, well, maybe not anymore, but may as well bring them in. They're bouncing around out there. Can't be good for them.
I'll bring them all the way in, or just
Yeah, I think so.
okay.
So, shore-based science team, I think we have a little bit more than an hour left in our dive, and I just wanted to check in and make sure that we would be able to do a science call directly after the ship comes off bottom. Does that work for everyone?
Yes, and could we look at that orange yellow fan?
Good way to answer. Yes.
Pilots, you got that?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll put that in the event log as well, but basically we'll be having our science call just a few minutes after the ROV comes off bottom.
So it looks like now we've gone from an area of dense basket stars into an area of dense octocorals, and now
Take it again there, co-pilot.
we're in this area with much, much smaller
Big guy.
Yeah.
corals.
Do you think that's related to the current?
And come on in, video.
Coming in.
We're done with lasers.
Yeah, I think so. Thanks.
This
So
is
yeah,
partial.
probably. I mean, we've seen the size of the corals and animals decrease, and so perhaps it's that
Zoom as you want.
currents are
Okay.
increasing as we're
Coming in.
moving
I think
upslope,
there's a
and so the
crab in
bigger
there.
animals aren't able
To the
to
Yeah.
Yeah.
get out of that.
Looks like
Ooh,
it.
there's a cool crab in this one,
Where?
Camouflage there.
or a couple.
Might be two of them, yeah.
Oh yeah, is it?
So yeah, perhaps the
zooming
bigger
in on
animals
this
aren't
tiny
able
one.
to sort of
Yeah,
hold
yeah.
themselves in
Is that
place
pulls
through all
Yes,
that
that's
current
right,
because
so-
they're much larger and
There's a
pick
bunch
up a
on
lot
there.
more of that wind
Find
resistance.
the 6 crabs.
Yeah, there's a shrimp in there too. Next to the crab. Oh yeah, there's one to our left, going off screen.
Crab.
Yeah.
Try to get over there.
All over the
Look
place.
how cute he is.
Well, that guy's pretty well camouflaged.
Yeah. Except we can see him.
Be the coral.
Yeah, with 150,000 lumens of light.
You want to give it a tilt up? Get this guy on the end here.
He waved at us.
Those crabs are really cute. So how big are those, Ziva? They're tiny, aren't they?
I thought you hated crustaceans.
Oh, that was a joke for you. Okay,
I
so
didn't
Deb
hear it,
didn't
I'm
even
sorry.
hear it. It's
I didn't
fine.
hear it.
Wasted. Can we have the other lasers on? We just want to gauge how big these crabs are.
Oh. Sorry, video.
Or not. It's fine. I was just wondering.
I'll come back.
Lasers are on, just going to zoom out to see them.
Yeah, we can get lasers.
There we go.
Tilt up before, I guess.
Yeah, you can, tilt up and then zoom, see if we can get one of the crabs in the, between the lasers or something. There you go. Oh, sorry. There's crab and lasers.
Do you
Thank
want
you.
me to zoom in a
Wow.
little bit?
Just a little bit, maybe. Just, before you lose them.
So this coral is a type of hard coral or scleractinian,
And then there's
likely
a different
from the
crab
genus
far right.
Yeah.
Enelopsimia.
That's a good spider
And
crab
you can
almost.
see it's got several
Walk over there.
commensal crustaceans living in it of two different types. There's a squat lobster off to the right,
That's close.
and then there's also these really cute
Zooming
crabs, which we haven't seen yet for this dive,
And hold there.
living commensally in this hard coral.
I think the only reason I think they're cute is because they're
little.
tiny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Have we seen this guy before?
I don't usually like crabs either.
We have seen so many crustaceans of varying, frightening types on this.
But also some
on this-
really beautiful ones.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. If we're clear. Oh, look at that little
So
guy.
what's
bottom
this-
left.
Wait, hold on. So the crabs are not in my guide.
What is the
So-
size distribution of squat lobsters? Like, because we've seen super tiny ones, and then
Yeah,
I feel
that's
like we've
fine.
seen bigger
Yeah,
ones.
sure.
Can you tell me, like,
Having full wide?
Okay.
what the biggest range is?
I'm not
That's
sure.
Max wide.
Okay.
Full wide? Full wide.
Back into the fray here. Okay.
Like crabs. Anyway, so we didn't get an ID on those crabs. I don't think any of the onshore scientists were able to.
Oh no. I got
Were able to ID it positively.
some shots they can take a look at.
All right, I'm going to put another ship move in.
Copy that.
Bridge nav. 30 meters due south, 0.2. Thank you.
There's a fish on the top of the screen.
Yeah, way out there.
Way out there.
Push ahead a little and we can try to zoom.
Okay, I'll zoom in a little bit.
Hold there, yeah.
Holding.
Let me square it up. Okay.
Oh, we need to image this fish. I'm pretty sure it's one of the commercial bottom fish.
Okay. Want
that
me
all
to
you
come
got?
in? Okay,
Yeah.
nope. I have more.
All right, please
Try
zoom
to
in.
get it from here while we can.
Ooh. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, that does look like a snapper. Where's my snapper guide?
Getting a workout.
Yeah. Forever pool.
Got cruise control on. Forever pool.
So Bruce is saying this is one of the commercially fished species which we were seeking during this dive. He's thinking it's
Come live
Etelis
again.
carbunculus,
Sneak up on it.
which is
That's
commonly
cool.
known as
Probably
the
won't see us.
deepwater red snapper.
Yeah, just be careful, Chris. Tasty fish know they're tasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you look at the chat room, you'll see that Chris and I use different names for this. There's been a little bit of confusion recently about this fish and what it should be called. It
Good
turns
video.
out there are
Come on
two
in.
species.